Yes, he is Brent Hanks. I am Jeff Platt. This is No Gamble, No Future. Welcome in, everybody. Good to have you here once again, Mr. Hanks. I know we want to start the show a little bit differently this week because it is, my friend, the kickoff of the World Series of Poker.
Yeah, baby, it has arrived.
But, before we get to that, and I'm just throwing this on you last second, I do believe you owe our country an apology, the United States of America, for choosing the European side of things in the Ryder Cup last week. So, Mr. Hanks, I shall give you the floor. Go ahead.
I do owe our great nation an apology. I listened to a Benedict Arnold-like character, Len Ashby. He talked me into Team Europe. He told me we didn't have any pride. We didn't have any glory. We were too razzle-dazzle for the Ryder Cup, and Europe takes it very seriously. But boy, was he wrong. Boy, was I wrong. I quickly, Jeff, when you were there at the event, I sent you a message. I said, I am full-blown Team America. I was inspired. I was into it. It was great to see Bryson, sort of getting along with Koepka, on the same side, fist bumping. Justin Thomas shotgunning a beer on the green mid-round. I don't think I've ever seen that, but Ryder Cup, amazing. How was your experience? You were actually there.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. And to your credit, you did make that turn very quickly. Like, you turned on us last week during the show. You went with Europe, but it was like midday Friday and you were already back on Team USA, and we welcomed you with open arms. It's a great experience. It's a cool atmosphere. It's a cool environment. It's obviously unlike any other golf tournament. And Team USA is just going to be good for years, right? Because they have the guys you mentioned, Bryson, Brooksy, Justin Thomas, Spieth and Finau and Daniel Berger. Like, this is the core group, and it just is going to be the core group for years and years to come. And Dustin Johnson, who had 5 points, he just won every single match that he played. So I think the U.S. is in great shape for years to come. All right, enough golf talk. Let's transition to the World Series of Poker, because this is one of our favorite days of the year, and we haven't had it for 2.5 years. The WSOP is back. Brent, why don't you give us a glimpse, a little bit of an insight into what you have lined up over these next 6 weeks or so?
It's exciting, and I will, all jokes aside, I know I've been needling myself and you've been needling me about not doing any commentary for the series. I did land one gig.
There we go.
Last minute.
It's in the mix.
So, I'm slowly maneuvering my way in there. But that being said, because I was so salty, I seeked out another option to make sure that my beautiful face and voice would be found somewhere on the internet. Exciting news, Jeff, that you and I have talked about for quite some time. We're actually going to have a trailer set up at the World Series of Poker, and it is going to be entirely about creating content, giving folks at home a chance to have a live look in at the PokerGo / World Series of Poker experience, free entirely on YouTube. There will be more details to come on that later this week, potentially early next week. I'm really, really excited about this. I've called it a tailgate. I've called it a hangout, sort of a zone, if you will, but very excited about that. And then, Jeff, why don't you let the good people know about another little endeavor that you and I are involved with as of this morning?
What
that would be fantasy.
Yes,
Poker,
fantasy.
Jeff,
but
fantasy.
can I go back to the trailer just real quick, because you brought up a couple good points, that we want this to be really welcoming to people who are not at the series and people who are at the series. So if you're not at the series and you're at home, we want you to kind of watch along with us. So like if Daniel Negreanu is at the final table of one of our events we have on PokerGo, we're going to set up a watch party. If nothing's really going on in the poker world, but there's a massive Buffalo Bills game, we want to have Brent in the trailer, and we want you guys to watch Brent watching the Bills game. And if you're around the World Series, come on in, hang out with us, have a cocktail. I think there will be drinks in the trailer. So it's going to be great. I'm really happy that we have all of that set up, and more details to come on that in the next week or two. But Brent, you said it. So usually Daniel Negreanu runs this 25K fantasy league, right? And every team puts up $25,000. Brent, I know you've been in the league a couple times over these last few years or so. Negreanu's not doing it at that top buy-in level, but Dan Zach is running the show at the $500 buy-in level, which barely that's like our max buy-in level for anything, but it barely allows us to squeak in. So we have a team no gamble, no future. Now, we had a salary cap. We had a $200 salary cap based on what the players were auctioned off for back in 2019. And Brent, you can run through our squad, but I think we have a pretty good one.
Yeah. So, the salary cap was $200. That's what you got. And Dan Zach, who put this thing together, you can find the entire contest at 25kfantasy.com. He put a list of players and assigned values to their names. You essentially choose 8 players, and then you pay $25 for a bonus player. So
which we're going to do. We're going to take advantage of the bonus.
We're going to do it. Yeah. We're going to do it. So here's where we went. Our number one pick, I think, is a no-brainer. Yeah. And I hope that a lot of people fade this because of the price. But we're going with Daniel Negreanu, who costs $92, essentially the Christian McCaffrey of our fantasy roster. We're going to go with him. He is obviously he's our good friend, but also overall, I think the most well-rounded poker player at the World Series. He's every year going to be a favorite to win the Player of the Year. He plays every event, every single game at a very high level. Daniel Negreanu came off the board at $92, leaving us, a less than desirable budget, but enough ammo to work with because there's value in later picks. I'm just going to move down real quickly.
Yeah,
Jeremy Ausmus, $12. Again, well-rounded player, no limit PLO.
Breaking into high rollers too as well.
Exactly. Shannon Shore, he's $7. No limit specialist, but also has divvied up into other games. PLO, he also plays. He can play horse. He'll play some of the 1,500 mixed game events. Let's see. How about Maria Ho?
Oh, we know
$3 for Maria Ho.
And she plays mixed.
She plays mixed. She's going to play a full schedule. I just think that is extreme value for Maria, and we are thrilled to have her on our team. 2 more that are just, again, knockout values. Carrie Katz, $7.
Yeah.
Plays every event, including every super high roller that will be at the World Series. His goal is to win a World Series of Poker bracelet. He will play as many events in his entire life until he achieves that goal. This will be the year for El Jefe. Thrilled to have him. I'm not familiar, I'm not going to lie, Jeff, with AJ Kelsel. But from everything I looked up, more of a mixed game guy and low value, $5. We threw him on the squad, plays a very high volume. Two names I have not mentioned. Nick Schulman, $11. And that left us $63 in our budget. So I went all the way back up towards the top.
Smart.
And I'm going with the league organizer himself, Dan Zach. I think Dan Zach is an absolute stud, plays all the games very, very well, methodical. A bit of a mystery too, outside of the poker bubble. Not a lot of people are tuned into him. So perhaps he could be overlooked in the fantasy draft. We shall see. But that is our team. Bonus player, Adam Hendricks. We know this, Jeff. Plays PLO at a high level. Also plays a lot of the no limit games. And he also will dabble in mixed games. I think Hendricks is the best of the bunch as far as the bonus players are concerned.
I think this is a strong squad. We saw Dan Zach make a couple runs at WSOP Online, so I think he's worked on his no limit hold'em game as well. So you mentioned the phrase well-rounded, and I think we have a really well-rounded squad. So we're looking forward to that. Brent said it. You can find updates at 25kfantasy.com. And if you look at the standings, are we in yet? But we're just going to be Team No Gamble, No Future.
We are team name No Gamble, No Future. So you can follow us along right there on that website. I'm sure we'll be tweeting about it. At NGNF Show. It's going to be hard to miss our team.
Okay, before we move on to another one of our teams in the Circa Sports Million, Brent, why don't you tell me what I could find if I went to hairclub.com/poker?
Oh, I'm glad you brought it up, Jeff. If you went to hairclub.com/poker, you're going to find an amazing opportunity. You're going to sign up for a free consultation with Hair Club and in exchange receive a free Poker Go visor, which you can see right on the website, as well as a deck of playing cards brought to you by Poker Go. And on top of that, you'll be in the runnings for $1,000 worth of gift cards, as well as an autographed book by Phil Hellmuth. Head on over to hairclub.com/poker. Enter today.
All right, good stuff. Brent said at hairclub.com/poker. Let's recap last week in the Circa Sports Million, the $1,000 by an event. You pick 5 games against the spread every single week. And Brent, another 3-2 week for us. Our wins, the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Vikings, all relatively comfortable wins, I would say. The losses, we had the Chiefs, and we also had the Raiders, and that was like,
that was gut-wrenching, man.
Yeah. The Raiders were -4, maybe -4.5 in the contest. I don't remember specifically, but up a touchdown late, and Miami comes down.
They're up 8
and ties it. Yeah, and ties it at the end, and they go to overtime, and we do not cover the spread there. Oh, that was so close to 4-1, but 3-2, 8-7 on the year, not terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it. Listen, after our abysmal start, it could have been over, right?
Right.
A big week for us. I think we need to go 4-1 to really give ourselves a shot to feel okay about it. So, shall we?
I mean, one player is already 15-0. When you're in a field, we're tied for like 1,780th or something. Like, we're not dead by any means, but like Brent said, we do need a big week. So just to remind you of how we pick our top 5, we each have separately created a top 5. It's already done. It's already there. We'll take my top 2 and Brent's top 2, and then the 5th pick comes if we have the same side on any other games. That's easy. Betcoin, or when we're at home, a random number generator gets involved if Brent has the opposite side of my top 2 anywhere in his top 5, or the opposite. And for our 5th pick, if we don't have any same sides in our top 5, our random number generator will decide to go with my 3rd pick or with Brent's 3rd pick. Brent, do you remember who led us off last week?
I don't. No, I don't know. Do flip a coin for it.
Okay, I don't have a coin. I'm just going to say you have the honors. You've been on fire on NFL. We'll get to your actual numbers.
I should have deferred to you. Okay, well, my number 1, I thought it was my easiest pick of the week, and usually this confidence gets me into a little bit of trouble, Jeff, but I'm sticking it up at number 1, and I am going once again with the home dogs back-to-back weeks, the Minnesota Vikings, +2. I absolutely love the Vikings team. They've got the Cleveland Browns coming into town, +2. You might be able to get them at 2.5 as this week sort of moves into Sunday. I think some spreads even offer it. However, Circa, where I looked, they're at 2.
Yeah, Circa the Vikings, contest, they're at 2.
The Vikings +2 on the Circa contest. Love them at home. Let's go.
I like it, and I have no opposition to that. I don't have that game anywhere in my top 5, so that is locked in. I'll go with my number 1 pick, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Jets, Jets. You hear that?
Oh,
Jets, Jets. You're going, come on, you got to get fired up. It is the New York Jets +7 at home against the Titans, and this is ugly, and the Jets have looked terrible. Titans coming off a win against the Colts. I think Titans will be overplayed. This is an ugly home dog that you just roll your eyes and click on and pray and don't watch the game and have somebody tell you the final score when it's all over. And hopefully you found some sort of backdoor cover. Are you excited for a little Jets action? Do you have any opposition anywhere?
I'm not excited, but I will tell you that you've got a couple things going in your favor. A.J. Brown, hammy, and A.J. Brown likely to miss the game. Julio Jones also hamstring injury. So their top 2 receivers could be out. Now, do I think they're going to be passing the ball against an abysmal Jets defense? No. Derrick Henry's going to run for 300. So maybe the points are good, though. Maybe 7 is good, Jeff. I can't be against you because that's your pick. But
it can be locked in, yeah? All right, here we go. Jets plus the 7. I mean, the Jets, speaking of Brent, elite receiving core. Great receivers in New York for John Wilson.
I mean, I like Corey Davis. I do. I just don't. He's been banged up. I don't think Crowder's back. I have no idea. I mean, how do you root for the Jets?
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be sickening. All right, sir, fire off your number 2.
My number 2. How about them Cowboys?
Oh, baby.
I got the Dallas Cowboys, baby, at home, -4.5 against your Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers, Jeff. Listen, the Cowboys at home are a tremendous team to watch. Ezekiel Elliott, he's got things going. He looked fantastic last week. Finally on the board as far as fantasy football is concerned. Finally on the board with multiple touchdowns. They've got a healthy receiving core coming back. Dak Prescott again at home is lights out. I love the Cowboys to cover this game.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, I have a bit of resistance here, which you knew was going to happen. You did say it was my Sam Darnold-led Carolina Panthers who have been been solid this year. I have the Panthers. They were actually my 5th pick at +4.5. So that means that we shift to a random number generator, which I believe you are on the right side of twice. Is it safe to assume you're just going to go with the number 69 and I'll just see what number?
I'm not going to tell you just in case you're pretending.
All right. Sounds good. No, I'm going to record video for just so we have it for the records. And here we go. All right. What's your number?
69.
It's 43, which means that I am going to get to make this pick. And the Carolina Panthers all of a sudden have popped up onto our card, overriding Brent Hanks's 2nd pick. And that could be a huge swing game that I'm very excited about, unless the Cowboys, there are some sims in which the Cowboys do just win like 45-17 or something like that. And there aren't many sims of like the opposite side of the spectrum, but I think I see a little value in the Panthers, and you're thrilled about this. Yeah.
I almost made this my number 1 game.
Wow.
Yeah. I just love the Cowboys at home. Good Lord.
For my number 2, I am going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers +6.5 against the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. A lot of people fired up about Green Bay after last week's win. A lot of people really down on how Big Ben and the Steelers have looked over the last couple of weeks, really ever since, Brent, they played your Buffalo Bills. So I feel like the Steelers are a little undervalued in this spot. I'm not sure the Packers are that good. And so give me the Steelers. Did you have Packers on your card?
I wish I did, because so far, your 3 picks make me quite nauseous.
Oh, it's just an ugly card is forming.
I will say though, Jeff, in your defense, I loved in a way the line, because 6.5 just looks so tasty.
Yeah.
Right. It just looks like such a trap game.
Yeah.
Always. So yeah. I mean, a lot of times though, these picks that you're throwing out there, we might go 5-0.
All right. Since I've already revealed some of my top 5, my other 2 are Giants +7.5 against the Saints and Bears -3 against the Lions. What's the rest of your top 5?
I have Buffalo -16.5, all the points there. Mm-hmm. The Rams -4.5, and the Seahawks +3.
Okay, so no similarities, no opposition. Buffalo is your number 3?
Yep.
Okay, Giants are my number 3. So we will go back to the random number generator. Don't tell me what number you're going to pick. And here we go once again for...
You're on the Giants. Let me get this straight.
Our 5th pick, yeah.
You're just on the worst teams in the NFL.
Just the worst. I told you it's going to be ugly. All right, and here...
I like the Giants side.
You pick, sir. What's your number?
69.
It's 14.
Okay, Giants it is. I actually like this. Go Giants.
All right, Giants are on the card. So that means our card is as follows. Vikings +2 against the Browns. Jets +7 against the Titans. Panthers +4.5 on the road in Dallas. Steelers +6.5 on the road at Lambeau. Giants +7.5.
This can't be good. We've got all dogs.
Or it could be very good.
This can't be. We don't have a single favorite.
You're the dog. I love it. I think we might go 5-0. God, how good would 13-7 sounds?
Yeah.
On the year. That'd be pretty beautiful. All right. So any other plays that you have for this weekend? You know what? Let's bring up, this is the cue for producer John, to bring up the tracker. And the tracker looks spectacular if you're Brent Hanks.
Let's go.
It looks horrifying if you're me, but I feel like we're used to that. So for me, I am down 13.9 units for season 2 of No Gamble, No Future.
Not
Brent,
great.
You are up 11.2 units. You're up 4.9 units on Sunday. You lost just one game, just one play. You're on fire. You're feeling it. You're unconscious.
Yeah, crushing. Feeling good in the NFL. I really am. College football, I've been throwing out flyers. I don't love college football this week, but I'm still, whatever. I'm still going to be all right.
Okay.
I got a couple on Saturday.
Okay. Do you have a couple that you want to reveal for us now? I just have one college play, and that's Tulsa -4.5, one of the Friday night games.
What happened to you? You usually bet the slate.
Oh, I'll bet this. I'll bet the slate. I just haven't had time to put together the slate. But the card will be lengthy. Hopefully we can fit it into one tweet at NGNF show come Saturday morning.
I'll be damned. I like Wisconsin at home over Michigan, -2.
Okay.
Bit of a stinker against Notre Dame. I think it's a big rebound game for Wisconsin. I love that defense. Michigan, I just hate Michigan, so I'm going Wisconsin.
Well, Michigan could very easily be overrated at this point in the season. So that wraps up this episode of No Gamble, No Future. Brent, how many bracelets do you think we'll win before next week?
I probably just one.
Okay. I was going to go zero.
We'll be reasonable. And can we talk about our fantasy football trade a little bit, Jeff? The one that you and I are trying to work out?
We can do that off air. And by do that off air, I mean, you can send me a row of texts that I will not respond to. How's that sound?
No fantasy. You don't want to talk any fantasy football at all?
Do you want to talk fantasy?
We don't have to.
Okay, good.
I would like to work a little segment of fantasy football into the show once.
You know what? So would I, especially with DFS lineups and some fantasy football plays. So I'll give you that. If you have anything specific you want to talk about this week, be my guest, and I'll just sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
Well, now let's go. Let's just move on.
Let's go. Let's just move on.
I was looking at our league, No Gamble, No Future, that we're all in. But then you've had
a hot start in that league.
As far as DFS, I will say I'm going to drive out to Prim. I'm going to put in some lineups.
There we go.
And I am going to stack the shit out of the LA Rams.
Okay.
That is going to be I think we're just going to be all in LA Rams stacks.
Okay.
That's the game that I am looking at. High scoring total.
Yeah.
Love Stafford. Robert Woods. I'm fading Cooper Kupp this week.
Oh, I like that because I think everybody will be on Cooper Kupp, right?
Yeah.
So a little low ownership play. Hello.
I think so.
In the stack with
Daryl Henderson, little limpy. Maybe people avoid the limp, but we're going to ride him. We're going to ride that bull.
Well, let's do it, baby. All right, let's do it. Best of luck to everybody in y'all's plays, in y'all's fantasy leagues, in y'all's poker tournaments. Let us do this. We will talk to y'all next week. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. We very much appreciate that. We'll be we'll be in a World Series of Poker setting come next week. No promises as to what that may look like, but we are certainly excited about that. We'll be in a trailer soon. More details on that still to come. And if you're checking us out on your favorite podcast app, subscribe, review, rate.
Please.
It all helps. It's all good stuff. Stuff.
For now, thank the charts.
Yep. For now, thanks so much to our producers, John and Aiden. Thanks to Brent Hanks. I'm Jeff Platt. We will see you next time.